The bath! Hey you guys, I'm just gonna take a bath.
Gorillaz. Probably my favorite band, and for a couple of good reasons. Recently, as I was making this video, we found out that the Gorillaz film that was in production, or going to be in production, was cancelled. Sadly. I know, it hurts. But, coincidentally, what better way to talk about Gorillaz than their music videos?
The bath!
Now, yes, this is only going to be about music videos, not every song, but there's a lot of good stuff to talk about today. From just animation and memories and just why I love this band. So a little bit of background for those that don't know. Gorillaz was created by Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett, a musician and artist respectively. Through Gorillaz I got into Damon's other projects such as the iconic Blur, The Good, The Bad, and The Queen, The African Express, and of course his solo stuff too. And if Jamie Hewlett, I recently got his art book, and I was able to learn more about Tank Girl, Fu Action, and a lot of his other solo stuff. And I even found out that Damon and Jamie worked on a Chinese opera a long time ago. There's lots to talk about in regards to Gorillaz and the overall world, from the characters to the people behind it, and of course all the great music. So I've been a big Gorillaz fan for as long as I can remember now, and I've made a lot of fond memories of this band, these characters, Tootie, Murdoch, Russell, and Noodle, and it sparked my interest and knowledge of many other musicians through their collaborators and their music videos and their art direction. Jamie's pure imagination has really captivated me. The way the characters act has expanded my my humor, and just why I always loved cartoons and animation growing up. So seeing this beautiful melody between music and animation and just imagination and creativity and pure innovation, it's been something that I've always loved. So join me today as I talk about every Gorillaz music video, and I'll rank them as best as I can. So let's get into it. The top tier is The Bath from that meme back when Humanz released with Murdoch taking a bath. I love it. Next, Sunshine in the Bag. It's There. Where's My Eel At? Then No More Unicorns Anymore. That's a reference to the slogan that was around the Now Now phase. So let's get into it. And yes, I had to make my own tier list in OneNote because the tier list maker everyone else uses wasn't cooperating with me. I don't have Twitter, I couldn't sign in. But anyway, let's get into it. First wave, Tomorrow Comes Today, and that's gonna have to go in Sunshine in the Bag. Now, I like this video. Keep in mind, I'm just talking about the music video as a whole. So Tomorrow Comes Today is gonna go in Sunshine in a Bag, mainly because I think Clint Eastwood does a much better job introducing these characters. And speaking of Clint Eastwood, that's easily gonna go in The Bath. What can I say? It's a classic. It's sharp, has a bite to it. The characters are all doing something, playing their instruments, and it's action-packed too. Who can forget the zombie gorillas and none other than Del, the funky Homo sapien himself. Gorillaz got me into Del's music. So, yeah, that's definitely going to go in the Bath tier. Next year of 2000, yeah, that's also going to go in the Bath. What can I say? It started the trend of Gorillaz driving somewhere together, and it's like they're driving in a dystopian landscape with UFOs, shirtless cops, and a giant moose. And we have a nice duet between Tootie and Noodle, back when they did more of that. So yeah, definitely Bath tier. Then we have Rock the House. It's definitely Sunshine in a Bag. It doesn't really stick with me as much as the other videos in phase 1, I'll be honest, but it's still fun. There's more dancing like Gorillaz. Then we have Del, another song of Del, which is always nice. We have the iconic Murdoch doing Murdoch's thing. I can't really show it, but yeah, good stuff. And since we're talking about phase 1, I included 5-4, which was a fan music video made from Jamie Hewlett's storyboards. So that's going to go here, and it's there. Mainly because, like, don't get me wrong, it's nice. The fans did a great job, and like they stuck to Jamie Hewlett's vision, and I really loved this little time capsule in a way back to the Phase 1 art style and mannerisms. But since like in the actual video not a whole lot happens, just playing the instruments, and like, I mean, it's fun. I feel like if this came out with everything else, I probably would have put it a little higher, but for now it's going to go when it's there. Alright, that brings us to Phase 2. And of Kids with Guns, I'm going to put that in No More Unicorns Anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a great song, but the actual video, pretty much just a visualizer, but not like the bigger ones they've done later on. It's mostly a video about a bunch of guns, which, you know, go figure, but I would rather see the characters in it, so that's going to go No More Unicorns Anymore. Next, we have Dirty Harry, and that's going in the bath. Like in this video, Jamie really tried implementing the characters in the real environments, like the desert, as we see in the video. And the 2D animation is really smooth. Like, compared to Phase 1, it's definitely a step up in fluidity and how they move across the screen. Like 2D dancing, playing the keyboard as the choir of kids are singing. Like, it's crisp. There's lots of detail, too. And I love Booty Brown's rap in the video. I'm so glad he's coming back for Cracker Island. Alright, next we have Feel Good Inc. And yeah, it's definitely gonna have to go in the bath too. Sadly, about last week, Dave from De La Soul passed away. So for me, going back and watching this video made it hit harder. And it's like just hearing classic De La Soul together. It's gonna be different from now on. But yeah, Feel Good Inc. It's a great song, a great video, and it's iconic. So easily bathed here. Alright, so to keep rounding out Demon Days, we have Dare. And yeah, so Dare is easily gonna have to go up here in the bath. It's just so, what can I say? Like if you've seen the storyboards for it and like some of Jamie's notes, like this one I'm sure took a lot to nail down because it's Noodle dancing. I don't know, it's a fun video. It's a great time, a great thing to dance to. So yeah, Dare is definitely bathed here. So, to keep running out Demon Days, so next we have El Miana, and that's, man, where do I want to put El Miana? Man. Okay, alright, let me explain. I'm going to put El Miana and Sunshine in a Bag. The animation is incredible. Like, you can tell Jamie went all out for this. He definitely saved it for, because it didn't come out till way after Demon Days. It came out in 2006, while Demon Days came out the year before. Like, from a lore standpoint, a lot of fans really love this one, and I agree. It's as sad as the song is. Like, we see Noodle pretty much get blown up, and we don't really see her survive until Plastic Beach, if we're just going by videos. But then again, maybe I should... No, you know what? I'm going to keep it here. Because, I mean, it's depressing too, but it's beautifully made. So I think that's why it should stay right here in Sunshine in a Bag. Hopefully I don't get killed for that one. And to finish off the Demon Days era, we have a video for Rocket from D-Sides, which came out in 2007. It's cool. It's cool to look at, and I really like the way they're able to get a lot across with such a little animation. And as we see in the picture here, there's a nice little moment of 2D carrying Noodle through the zombie wasteland. So it's a nice song. I like the video a lot, but I don't know, in terms of like what I think about when I think of Gorillaz music videos, it's probably gonna stay in the lower tier. Alright, so let's keep going. Now we're into the Plastic Beach era. It's probably my favorite Gorillaz album besides the Now Now, for being if I had to pick two top favorites. So let's get into it. First we have Stylo. And I feel like Stylo, it's definitely going to go in Sunshine in the Bag. Like, I love that Bruce Willis is in it, and this is like the first music video where it's actually like full-on 3D models of Gorillaz. Like, you see Murdoch, Tootie, and the new character Cyborg Noodle in it. Like, it's well directed. I love the way Jamie made them feel real. And I love how during the video, whenever Bobby Womack's vocals come on, like a storm brews, like it's beautiful. Like, we see a bit more lore in this video, but I understand it was really expensive to make, which is kind of why we didn't really get any big videos for Phase 3. But yeah, I like it a lot. Next is Melancholy Hill. And the reason I had to put Melancholy Hill up here is it's gorgeous. We get to see a lot of collaborators animated, and there's a lot going on. We get to see Noodle return, like the actual Noodle. She's kicking ass as Russell saves her. And yeah, just it felt like there's something big going on in the story as everyone is colliding or meeting up in Plastic Beach. Who can forget Melancholy Hill? It's a gorgeous song, and the music video fits nicely to said song. Alright, next is Rhinestone Eyes. Now look, I'm including it because this is also a fan-made music video, just like 5/4 over here, or 5/4. But, like, I guess since it's not official, it's fan-made, and it came out, way later after Plastic Beach, I'll just put it in Sunshine in the Bag. However, that's not to diminish anything in it, because it's gorgeous, it's well made, it's incredible. And it's nice to have some form of the ending to the Plastic Beach music video trilogy that we never really got to see. And I have the storyboards of Rhinestone Eyes in my Jamie Hewlett art book, and it's a real treat to see. So I'm glad that Gorillaz recognized Richard's fan video, because it's really good. You guys should all check it out. So next we're gonna talk about Don Kamatic and how, oh boy, alright, I kind of hate putting this down here. However, it's like we don't see any of the characters. We only see Tootie for a little bit. Like, I like the song itself. It's a great song, and it's supposed, like, the video is supposed to take place during Melancholy Hill, but I don't know, like, you could tell it was because the team, Hewlett's team, ran out of money, so they kind of had to improvise. But with that being said, I don't know, like, in terms of which Gorillaz videos I really want to watch, this is definitely in the bottom. Next we have the broken visuals. So this also, in a way, takes place during the Melancholy Hill video, but we get to see just Russell and Noodle, and they really didn't get to do a whole lot, like the actual Noodle instead of Cyborg. Like, her and Russell, they didn't really get to do a whole lot during Phase 3, but again, that's due to kind of how things went with planning. It's a live visual for one of the concerts, so it's just about 5 minutes of them just kind of looking at the audience and hanging out, but it's that gorgeous 2D animation, so it's definitely going to go in it. It's there. Alright, so let's go to Do Your Thing. So Do Your Thing, was made in 2012 with a collaboration of Converse with Andre 3000, and like, it's a great video, but I don't know, like, if you think of it from like the lore perspective, it's just kind of like, it's kind of an Elseworlds thing, like, it was made in 2012, because, like, keep in mind, back then we did not have Rhinestone Eyes at all. We just had Stylo, Melancholy Hill, then boom, everyone's just together somehow, and the UK, so, they weren't even in Plastic Beach, but, like, it's a well-made video. It's got the Stylo models, but, I mean, the song's fun. We get a little bit between Murdoch and Tootie, like, how Murdoch kind of, well, we all know he's an asshole, but, I don't know, like, it's cool, but it was also made during when Gorillaz wasn't really, it was made when Gorillaz wasn't really together, so to speak. Damon and Jamie, they made this, but they weren't really, like, planning to keep Gorillaz around until we get to Humanz. the big comeback in 2017. So like while I knew Gorillaz as a kid, I really got into them around 2016, you know, and coincidentally a little bit after that in 2017 they returned. And so that was a very hype moment for me. It was nice to see everybody back, and they all had like a speaking role too. So yeah, that's gonna go up here, Saturn Bars. It's a long video, by the way. We get a little bit of like 5 other tracks from Humanz in it, which is nice. And it's just great. We get to hear every character speak except Noodle, sadly. Then, you know, we got the bath meme. And it's like, I think this broke the record for like the biggest YouTube 360 VR like launch. So it's cool to see Gorillaz go down in history books for another cool like innovation. This is the first brand new Gorillaz music video I witnessed. And yeah, it's good stuff. All right, that brings us to Sleeping Powder and yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to put it No More Unicorns Anymore. I mean, like, I get why, like, this was pretty much Damon, actually, that made this. Like, you know, Jamie obviously helped him, but this music video, it was just Damon putting on the mocap suit for duty, surprisingly, and dancing around, so, you know, it wasn't really a music video planned by Jamie, but he definitely helped out. So this one was just, like, a one-off single. It had nothing to do with, like, the actual Humanz album, but it was a single. Kind of like Donica Matic, so like you seeing a pattern here. We have a single made for a big album, like a single that released that coincided with the album but wasn't part of it. Sleeping Powder, I love the song. I guess it works for what it is, but in terms of music videos, I want to go back and rewatch. I have to put Sleeping Powder down here. So next we have Stromboli. Now, you know, I'll be honest. I get the hate for this song. I mean, for the music video, I get the dislike for it. But I don't know, like, I had fun with it, and I get it. You know, the models aren't great, but we don't really see them up close. And, you know, poor Russell didn't get to do anything. But I like it in a way because we have, like, every collaborator from Humanz appears in the, like, disco club in the video for a little bit. So that was cool. I mean, it kind of fits the theme of the album with, like, the end of the world and everyone's dancing, or everyone's, you know, trying to make the most of it. So, I mean, like, with that theme of the album in mind and seeing all the collaborators, I do like this video. It's nice to see just another dance going on. And, you know, this video, probably the biggest takeaway from it is it started the Free Murdoch campaign. And the Now, and in this, we see Murdoch meeting a crime lord who was just his voice actor. So that's probably the biggest takeaway from this video, you know, but I mean, it's fine, but it definitely deserves to be down here. Alright, so I accidentally forgot to include Garage Palace when I was making the video, so let me go back and add this in here. So this was released during Humanz, but not part of the actual album, kind of like Sleeping Powder, except that Garage Palace, I believe, was released during one of the super duper deluxe Humanz editions. This wasn't actually made by Jamie Hewlett. It was made by a different art team, but, you know, it's still official. I don't know. I still think it's probably as good as Stromboli. Like, it's cool. I like the 8-bit arcade feel to it. It's like Streets of Rage, kind of. It's cool. I like that they're kind of like using weapons and kicking ass, but like, I don't know, the song took a long time to grow on me, but the video, it's cool. But man, I still can't believe Humanz was 6 years ago. Feels like it was forever ago, man. I have such fond memories of Humanz. The whole atmosphere of like the whole phase in the album, like had like it felt as dark as it did way back in the original phase, but like modernized, if that makes sense. But man, that like, whew, takes me back. And next we have the Now. So with Humility, that's definitely gonna go up here, yeah. Now this one I have another bit of nostalgia for. It's different from Humanz because it was the summer of 2018 and I was going to Maryland and I was on the beach, and this song, you know, obviously came out in May. And it was really nice to have this song to listen to. I was on the beach myself, kind of like 2D was in the video. So a lot of sentimental memories with the Now Now. Like I said earlier, the Now Now is probably my favorite album from them, besides Plastic Beach. It's all about motion, really. And we see Jack Black of 2D, we see Ace and the Powerpuff Girls, and Russell was there, and Russell's voice actor Remy, who also, he's the longtime friend, producer, and member of Gorillaz. He's there. He appears in it. That's a nice cameo. So yeah, humility is definitely in the back here. Next, I'm going to include the visualizer for Hollywood, mainly just because, Snoop Dogg actually appears in, the video, and we see a little bit of animation from 2D. I don't know, it's one of those visualizers that, takes a step up, and I feel like it warrants being in this list. But with that being said, it's probably in Where's My Eel At? That's a tier. Next, we have Trans. Oh, wow, what can I say? This is it's great. Gorillaz has this trend of releasing a music video after the album releases, and Trans is one of those. But it's great. I remember the hype for it. Jamie would, post these cryptic pictures of the video on his Instagram. We were all like, wow, what's this going to be? And it turned out to be Trans. And, September, I think, is when it came out. But yeah, when I was rewatching this, the animation was stellar. There's lots of subtle details that you kind of have to appreciate it. And it's nice seeing Ace again. So yeah, Trans is definitely in Sunshine in the Bag. Alright, so that brings us into Song Machine Season 1, Strange Times. With the first video being Momentary Bliss. And honestly, it's cool. But yeah, I remember the hype. Because we're like, wow, another new Gorillaz album so soon after the Now Now, which, so 3 albums in 2 years. But yeah, this was beginning of 2020, January, right around, before the world went downhill. So, but that being said, this was interesting because, nobody anticipated 2020 going like that. So it makes you think about what different paths Song Machine might have taken if some of their videos if the pandemic didn't happen. But I like Momentary Bliss. We actually get to see Damon and Jamie in it, surprisingly. I mean, it's fine. We get to see a new studio, the brand new Kong Studios. It's an okay video. Next we have De Lo Se, and it's pretty good. It's a cool video. We get to see Damon and Jamie again. So they're kind of breaking the fourth wall, but I like seeing them. I mean, it's a sad... the song's it's kind of melancholic, and they're at the sea again, and there's we see Murdoch alone, and 2D's on his little ship with Damon and Jamie, and then we see Noodle's old haircut from Phase 2 return, and then Russell's playing the drums of Carrots or something. But I like this video. It is ambitious. We'll see if the next couple Song Machine videos, there's some more that I like even better. Aries. Honestly, Aries probably goes in the same tier as this. It's cool. I like it. But, I mean, the video is pretty much just Gorillaz driving around again. It's the background's inverted. Everybody has their own car, but 2D and Murdoch are riding together, and Murdoch, injects 2D of some kind of drug. Great way to end the video. But, I don't know, you can kind of see where they kind of had to, kind of keep things a little simple, which is fine, but I think there's other videos from Song Machine I like a lot better. So I do like Aries a lot. I have a fond memory of it playing during an episode of the Jimmy Kimmel Show during the pandemic. And, which makes sense because, Aries, the lyrics really encapsulates that feeling of isolation. The video is really laid back, if I had to put it some way. So next, we have episode 4, Song Machine, Friday the 13th. While I do like the song, I think overall the video just kind of, it's practically a visualizer, and that's okay. In the same sense as Hollywood is. But I'm going to keep it at Where's My Eel At, or maybe even, you know what, I think I'll bring it down a little, yeah. It stills of the characters that we see in the physical release of Song Machine. If you open up the pamphlet, you can see the art. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it in No More Unicorns Anymore. So this brings us to episode 5 of Song Machine, the Pac-Man music video. And I like this one a lot. In fact, I think I'll keep it in Sunshine in the Bag. Yeah. Why is that? Well, we just see 2D, Murdoch, Noodle, and Russell just hanging about Kong Studios with the schoolboy Q. And it's also relaxed, but it has a little bit of a story in it. We just see 2D, I don't know, fascinated by a game of Pac-Man. And we see all the characters kind of act like, oh, something's amiss. Like, there's a cool shot of Russell beating up a punching bag. I like that. It's nice to see some Russell love. And then we see Noodle like go from being an anime character to a Peanuts character, which is funny, like two very drastically different art styles. I don't know, that was cool. And we get to see like this cool shot of Noodle going down these stairs and kicking a door open. Like, I know it sounds like just, you know, a simple movement, but the way it's animated, it's really nice. And, you know, all the characters being Pac-Man icons a little bit in the video. It's cool. It's cool. Pac-Man's definitely going in Sunshine in the Bag tier. Alright, next we have Strange Times, which is technically the opening to the album, but it's a 6 music video and Slime Machine, and it's really good. I think I'll have to put it, you know, with Pac-Man, honestly. Like, I like that we get to see Murdoch's Winnebago return. Like, if you remember, he had like this trailer he lived in from the original album. I think there's like a G-Byte where it gets stolen. Then if you go into that DVD I showed earlier, the Celebrity Takedown one, there's like a whole bit about Murdoch's Winnebago. I can't show it for kids, but it's like, you know, for any older fans out there, if you haven't seen it, go look it up on YouTube. It's like, it's really funny. But with the video itself, so we see Gorillaz going into space. As Robert Smith, you know, the icon from The Cure, he's the man on the moon singing. And like the video itself, it's pretty cool. It talks about kind of how the world is going crazy, you know, it's strange times. And like my takeaway is, you know, like 2Ds on the moon of Robert Smith, and they're kind of like looking down at Earth, kind of like, you know, from an outside perspective, quite literally. You know, just looking at all the madness going on. I don't know, there's something poignant about it. And when it ends, we see Russell like looking out at the moon, and we realize why he was doing all those donuts on the moon of the Winnebago and driving, you know, what he was doing. We see that Russell wrote out the phrase, "Be the change" on the moon, which I like that greatly. I don't know, that's a phrase that I've really taken close to heart in terms of being creative, and I don't know, just trying to do something different in the world, and I hope that, I don't know, like, that phrase really stuck out to me, and I'm definitely gonna remember that. But yeah, great song, and this music video released a pretty cool set of figures I wish I had, but yeah, very solid, like, it's a great music video. Next, we're at the Pink Phantom. You know, honestly, I think we have to put it here too. I know you're like, wow, Tiger Drop Films, real creative, but like, it's a great music video. It's only Murdoch and Tootie in it, but I mean, it's Elton John, so you kind of have to, you know, he's a legend. And yeah, it's a duet between Tootie, Elton John, and like, we see Murdoch in the background chasing the Pink Phantom. I mean, it's, yeah, you know, I'm glad Jamie directed a music video of Elton John in it. Like, it's definitely a highlight. And then we have Valley of the Pagans, and I'm gonna have to put that in Where's My Eel At? Only because, like, if you know the history behind this video, it originally released as, you know, Noodle driving the gang around GTA 5, yeah. And then that got copyrighted, surprisingly, and then it had it released a few months later after the whole Slime Machine phase, and it was replaced with like the same car but in a more like trippy environment, you know, more original. With that being said, I know the video is maybe not as exciting as some of their other ones involving cars, but you know, I love Beck, and you know, this video, they managed to throw in some great references, like the car they're driving is pretty similar to Stylo, even down to having a name on the front of it, with this time it being Pagan. And we get to see a little bit of like what they're driving in now, what Noodle's driving around in now. It's very similar to the empty highways we see in 2000. So, there's some fun references in there. But for me, the big highlight is the very ending of the video, which brings me into The Lost Chord, episode 9 and the last one of Song Machine. Yeah, this definitely has to go in the Both. Now, why is that? Well, at the end of the Valley of the Pagans, we see that the Pink Phantom took Gorillaz back to Plastic Beach. And so as the Lost Chord is playing during the video, we see them all return to Plastic Beach. And man, this was like a trip down memory lane. Like, it's the full-on model back from 2010 of Plastic Beach, the one we see in here in Melancholy Hill. And they get the reminiscent, and all the characters see something. Because I get it, like that story is to be kind of traumatic for all of them. Like, we see Russell, he turns giant again for a few seconds. 2D faces a whale. Murdoch sees Cyborg Noodle and all the Boogeyman, I believe. And Noodle sees her mask from Melancholy Hill, or right here around Stone Eyes. So, man, like, we even get to see, like, Daily Skeleton in his submarine in this video. There's a lot to unpack here. I could go on and on and on about it. A great way to end Song Machine, because the video released, I believe, in October of 2020. So we followed this new Gorillaz series, probably the closest we'll get to a, I guess, animated series of sorts, over the course of like 10 months. And it was a real trip. And that's why this album, I have another strong connection to it I can correlate to. Then, of course, Lee John appears as sea monster, and he destroys Plastic Beach in a very, like, tokusatsu fashion. Because I know Jamie's a fan of Ultraman and Godzilla, so it was nice to see a bit of a homage in that. So yeah, this is definitely an S-tier Both video. Like, let me make it gigantic. Yeah. So yeah, great stuff. I love The Lost Chord. So now this brings us to the latest batch of videos for the newest album, Cracker Island. I'm not going to include the Meanwhile EP in this because there's more so just visualizers and like it was just a quick, cool collaboration. But anyway, onto Cracker Island. First we got the, self-titled Cracker Island music video. And you know what? I dig it a lot. Yeah. It's going to have to go in Sunshine in the Bag. It was surprised to see another new Gorillaz album pretty soon. And like I discussed in the opening for this video, we learned that Damon and Jamie were really trying to get that Gorillaz film, created. But it fell through once again, sadly, through a certain streaming service. And I believe some bits of that did turn into Cracker Island, if we, looking at what Damon said. So, there's obviously some kind of story behind this, and while we may not see the full thing of it for a while, what we have is Cracker Island. And I really like this video. It's probably the best, it is the best 3D models we've seen. They're expressive, they still look like 2D animated, so to speak. Yeah, it's solid. Like, I love Thundercat's role in the video as like a phantom, and like his gestures and like his mannerisms. It's really funny and steals the show pretty much. We see a little bit of Noodle, Russell's like tuned into the Static channel. Then we see Murdoch kiss a ghost, or I don't know, it's a very Murdoch thing. But keep in mind, this is like the end of the story for this album, and Silent Running's the beginning, I think. We'll get to that in a minute. New Gold. Now, I'm including New Gold just because it's interesting. There's two versions of this visualizer, like one with Tame Impala and one without him, so that's why I haven't included it, because they actually show him in the video. And we see the characters be a little expressive, we see those Cracker Island models again. But with the inclusion of Tame Impala, it's pretty much just like actually showing Snoop Dogg in the Hollywood visualizer, like there's a little more to it that I appreciate, and that's why I feel like it should be included like Hollywood. Next, we have one that I don't know if people really agree with me including this, but I really wanted to put it. Skinny Ape. Now, why did I include Skinny Ape? Well, this actually kind of got me really hyped for Cracker Island, like I talked about my personal connections through the past 3 albums of Humanz, being their big return after I had just started getting into them. And then the now I really associate with summertime on the beach in Ocean City. And then Song Machine, released during the pandemic. So those three albums have a very close connection to my heart. And just, from getting to new music and then exploring new art, the great direction with different styles. And I like that Skinny Ape tried something really new. It was an immersive experience. Like, I downloaded that special Gorillaz app so I could play Skinny Ape anywhere I wanted. And I could see the Gorillaz pop up. But here on the Times Square version, you get to see a whole video about those same models you can use on your phone up in, Times Square. We get to see, Tootie of the megaphone, Russell playing the drums, Noodle of the guitar, and of course Murdoch's flying, because why wouldn't he be? But I really liked it. It felt like, I don't know, it was something new. It felt like it was a focus on the characters for a little bit, and I liked it a lot. So yeah, props to the Skinny Ape live performance. Alright, I can't believe it. We're at the final music video as of the first quarter of 2023. We have Silent Running. And oh my god, I love this video. Quite frankly, I think it has to go in the bath, really. It just felt like it was total Gorillaz, if that makes sense. They're on an adventure trying to save Tootie from the Forever cult. And we learn that old woman we see in the future in the Cracker Island video, she's here and she's young. Her name's Moonflower. And of course, Murdoch's trying to raise her up. Because, we all know Murdoch's got game. Yeah, I don't know, it's lots of action, There's a nice callback to some past music videos in the sense of, Noodle kicking someone. We have, a creepy giant, ghoulish creature. It feels outlandish, it feels mythical, that otherworldly Gorillaz feel we see in a lot of videos. Whether it's Shawn Ryder, Adele the Funky Homo Sapien, I don't know, a giant moose, the Boogeyman, Bruce Willis, or Lee John, or of course, Pop Can and Satin Bars, taking some artists and making them a character, or just not even that, just having a weird force, like the Boogeyman or the Moose, and we have a demon in this Silent Running video. Then we get some action as Gorillaz takes down a cult to save Tootie. And what I'm trying to get at is it was kind of fun irony that Murdoch just makes a cult of his band, and then next door there's an actual evil cult, and they have to take him down in Hollywood too. Yeah, it's good stuff. There's action, there's a little bit of comedy, and again, we see that animation in Cracker Island. They're so expressive, and I love it. So yeah, guys, here's my messy tier list of Gorillaz music videos as of 2023. It's okay if you don't agree. I'd love to see what you guys like and don't like, and it's just fun to talk about Gorillaz because this band and the art is very, very dear to my heart. And I love all Damon Albarn's projects, and I love Jamie Hewlett's comics, and it's really nice to see those two creative forces, those two innovators come together and bring people together. They create something truly special. So yeah, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned. I can't wait for Cracker Island.
The bath! Hey, you guys, I'm just gonna take a bath.